What is up, guys? Welcome to Malaysia. It is round 3 of the F1 2010 career mode, and here we are in a wet Sepang circuit in the Williams, and it is time for the race. So qualifying was very disappointing. Only 13th place we could manage on the grid for today's race. But yeah, we're going to go with the full wet setup. There's a 64% chance of rain, but as we saw last time out in Australia, the rain will probably stick around with us for the whole race. It's not usually the case in F1 2013, but 2010 is a different story. So we've got an all Red Bull front row, Vettel and Webber locking that out. We've got Barrichello just behind us, and we are lining up in 13th place. So it's 11 laps of this Sepang circuit. And we've got Michael Schumacher right ahead of us, and the lights are now starting to come on. We can't actually see them from back here, but it's lights out and away we go. A very good start, as we've already got Schumacher, but we get a little bit bogged down behind Nico Rosberg. A very poor qualifying for the Mercedes drivers. And now we've run about a little bit onto the grass before diving it down the inside of Adrian Sutil now. And we've just been given a clear bit of track. It's really opened up for us, but Hamilton cut straight across us there. And once again, he's basically had a double swipe at us through those two corners in the Snell section. But now coming around turn 3, we look to hold it. We cannot see a thing as we're on the full wet tyres, meaning it's heavy rain. But we stick it around the outside of Hamilton. And that's also one of the Ferraris, I believe. I think it's Fernando Alonso for 3rd position. It's Felipe Massa actually. So we're up into P3, and now we're just going to look to stick behind the Red Bulls, and if an opportunity comes, then we will try and take one of the top 2 positions. But Webber's going very slowly through the double right-hander, and we've managed to get him up to P2. And now it's just Sebastian Vettel, who we should be able to take around the outside. They're very slow and tentative as they learn this circuit. In the first few laps, I haven't driven this circuit in the rain for such a long time. It was a dry qualifying, but as we get a lot of oversteer at one point there. But we lead at the end of the first lap, and now as we run through the laps, we're just looking to sort of command our lead and build up a nice gap to Mark Webber, who's now in P2. But Felipe Massa now up to P2 at the end of lap 2. And we're really doing nicely here as we're on to lap 4. Built up a pretty substantial lead, but now we're spinning backwards as it's out of the double right-hander, and we've caught on the curbing, and it's a disaster as this game is so sensitive when you go onto the curbs. But we've gone down to P3. Felipe Massa has taken the lead, and it was always going to come. It's so tricky in these wet conditions. And now on lap 5, we're trying to close in on Mark Webber once more. But we've run again onto the AstroTurf, and it's so slippy on there. It's a completely different ball game when you play in F1 2013, which makes it so difficult to adapt to. And yeah, we're now down to P5 as we are nearly at half race distance. And yeah, it's not going great at the moment, but if we can just stick it here behind Lewis Hamilton, as we can see how tricky the conditions are as Hamilton has gone off the racetrack. There's absolutely nowhere we can go apart from into the side of him, and that just shows how treacherous these conditions actually are. And we can't even turn into that corner. It really is horrific, as now on lap 6 we've spun it. It's just impossible. It really is impossible in these conditions just to turn in. I mean, all I did was turn into that corner, and as you can see, we've got so much oversteer, and there the car just didn't turn as we're now back down to P5, and these conditions are proving impossible as Vettel is now gone, and all the AI going all over the place. I'm going all over the place. It's complete carnage as we're now going to try and take the podium position off Fernando Alonso. But yeah, lap 7 here, as now we're just trying to stick it round the outside maybe as we do the dummy on him, and then take him down the inside, lure him into thinking that we're going around the outside, but we've made that move stick for P3. How long it'll last I don't know, as we're now on lap 8 and we've run wide once more, and you know what that means? It means a nice little spin once more. We're loving this, aren't we? As we're down to P4 now, but Vettel, who's spun himself in this race, is just behind us on our tails, and we have got more understeer than a bus through that turn. And lap 9, we love this corner, don't we? As all we do is turn in, and our steering wheel is absolutely loving this. Oh my god, I'm fuming at this point. P5, P6 even, as we've got Antonio Liuzzi is so overpowered this season. You'll see it in the coming episodes as well, but we take him cheekily down the inside. Beautiful move for P5. And I've got a feeling that that could be it for this race, as we just can't master that corner. It really is difficult. But we're now on lap 11, and once again we've run wide, and it's just about holding this P5 on the final lap. But we've, oh my god, how have we spun there? It is just impossible to keep this car on the track. It's been proven by the AI, and Liuzzi has stuck his force in. It may not be the fastest car on the circuit, but I tell you what, he's controlled it an absolute treat. As we now run up to turn 4, and we're just going to try and take Liuzzi before the end of this race. But I think our battle could be a little bit in vain, as but we know we tried to stick it round there, and we're now going to try it down the inside as we take the wide and then cut it back inside. It's a beautiful move for P5. And now all we've got to do is keep this car on the racetrack. But no, we just can't. It's just impossible. But we somehow, I think we ease off the throttle as we've learned from our mistakes. And Felipe Massa takes the victory. And we come home in a decent P5 after 2 podiums. It's still not a bad result in this Williams. P5, what a race it was. It was so exciting in the, I was going to say in the dark then. I meant to say in the wet, the heavy rain. The 64% chance of rain actually did turn just into a full wet race. Rubens Barrichello, a beautiful 4 points for Williams. It's good to see him bringing home the points, and Felipe Massa taking out the victory. As we've also got Pedro Della Rosa rounding off the points. Lewis Hamilton, a poor race from him, down in 17th after his spin. And we are now in 3rd place in the championship, with Jenson Button not picking up any points. And the Williams team, 47 points, 4th in the Constructors' Championship. And that is about it for today. It's been a real good series. I've so enjoyed recording these. I think I'm up to about episode 7 now. You may have seen it on Twitter. I posted about the Turkish Grand Prix. Really enjoyed that one. Next time we've got China, which should be here in time for the real Chinese Grand Prix. I hope you guys have really enjoyed today's video. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you. And yeah, until next time guys, it's goodbye from me.